for all to see. Then switch it up and treat me right. You promise sun, but you bring rain. I still love what you do to me. The highest highs, the lowest lows. You take me to every extreme. Can't get enough, please let me be. But I love what you do to me.
Good evening. I am Honky and welcome to my world. Hello, Miss Viewers of You. Nice to see you. I was such a Target girl. Oh, hold on a second. Let's see. Hello, Miss View. Nice to see you. Let me tell you, Miss View, I didn't discover Target until literally like 2 years ago. I actually got on the phone with Naris 21 because I was just so impressed by the stuff that they had going on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was a little more. But it was peaceful to go in there. It was like I had everything I could find at the Walmart without having to be at Walmart. And Miss View says, I hate Walmart. Exactly. So I actually remember, Miss View, it actually had to be, if we were boycotting last year, it was like a year and then the boycott started. So yeah, like 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I went with Incredible Hulk because we went to get, I think, like glasses or something. They have like a optical, that there in the one that we go to. It's like a big one. And they actually had like, I was going to say poultry, not poultry, but produce or sort of. And I was so impressed that on the way to the car, I called Naris 21 and I was like, Naris, why did you tell me about Target? And, Naris also always believes that I live in a whole other bubble because, that was like the first time I've been to Target ever. And like I said, Miss View, it's a little bit more expensive, but you had peace of mind. You didn't have weirdos walking up and down the aisles. You didn't have fights in the aisles. There were no videos on social media of Target. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead. I got my visuals here. Let's start with the apology. I'm going to work our way back. If you hear me sipping, I'm still sipping on my mom's tea. It's working out, Miss View. It clears me the F out by morning time and gives me just what I need so that I can go through the day. Whatever my knees gave me, it's slowly working its way out my system, okay? So here's the apology. On Target's official Instagram page. An apology from us. We removed an offensive Halloween costume that should never have been part of our assortment. It is no longer for sale. As a company, we got this wrong, and we are deeply sorry. We know this is especially hurtful to our black guests. Team members and partners. Removing the costume is an important first step. and we are looking closely at how this happened. Um, Maybe because you got rid of the entire department that was in place to ensure this shit didn't happen. Removing the costume is an important first step, and we are looking closely at how this happened and what needs to change to ensure this won't happen again. Now, if you've been living under a rock and you don't know what they're referring to, I got it right here. This is the costume. This is the costume. This is the costume. Mike, you got something to say? Poor Black Peach. You got something to say, Mike? You got something to say hiding behind a motherfucking screen? See, I come live and you can see my face. You, on the other hand, you fucking hick. You're a fucking hick. Okay? Go suck a dick. Preferably a sick one. Sit on it while you at it too, bitch. Okay? Back to this. So, out of context, you know, you're like, okay, what are we looking at, right? I guess earlier generations might not know what they're looking at, right? But then when you put it in context, let me get you the context right here. Let me take the apology. Where is it? Oh, it's behind. Hold on a second. It's minstrel. Okay? There is definitely an undertone. There's not even an undertone. It's pretty much clear. The pose and everything is the same. The hat. And they named this Kids Glow Under Black Light Circus Clown Halloween Costume Bodysuit. Okay? This is what they were selling. Now, I got this from the news in the morning. I was like, oh, and then, you know, and the outrage, rightfully so. But then I said to myself, why do I feel like we've been here before? Why? Why do I feel like we've been here before? I feel like this is nothing new in terms of Target. I feel like Target has been playing on people's faces over and over and over. I want to know what Jamal is, Pastor Holy Whore, who just a couple of months ago called for the boycott to be over, as if he was anybody. As if he was anybody to tell us when to continue or stop the boycott. Well, anyway, when the boycott started, because last year they got rid of all the initiatives and the DEI, the whole nine. Ms. View, we completely have boycotted. 100% have boycotted Target for over a year plus. Not only Target, we've boycotted Amazon. As much as we could. We are trying to make our voices heard with dollars. Incredible Hulk says because Gucci did it a couple of years ago. Oh, that was Gucci, right? And I just feel like they were like, but I feel like they've done this sort of shit before, not just like them, but I mean Target specifically. I think that let me ask the AI real quick. Let me ask the AI, my trusty AI. Let's see here. Has Target had this same type of issue before? My AI should be really smart and know what the F I'm talking about. And it says, could you fill me a bit more? I'm not sure what issue or what Target you're referring to. Is this about the company? It's about the company putting up a minstrel costume this week. Let's see. Yes. Drop a bomb on that. See, my AI My AI wanted to make sure it knew what the F I was talking about. But here it goes. Yes, this isn't the first time Target has dealt with something like this. This week, Target pulled a kid's circus clown Halloween costume after backlash that it evoked racist minstrel blackface caricatures. An orange and black bodysuit with an exaggerated painted smile promoted with a black child modeling it. Target apologized, saying, quote, "We know we got this wrong and we are deeply sorry. The costume is offensive and should never have been part of our assortment." Now, let me say this. We're looking at this costume, right? I want you to understand that this is not just one person. This is more than one department involved in making sure that this was up on a website. This is not just some local Target that did a little photo shoot in the back and then they brought it up to the front to the counter and had the intern upload it to the website. No, this comes straight from corporate. This had months of development. Okay, they had the lineup. They probably had this lineup since last motherfucking year. Okay, this is how these things work when the company is at that level, at that capacity. They probably had this a year in advance already. The looks that they were gonna do. Then there was actually the hiring of the staff down to the fucking guy who turned on the lights in that set, the model, and then let me tell you something. I understand that as minorities in the arts, and I'm considering modeling, child modeling, all of this arts too, that, when you're first trying to make a name for yourself and you are a momager or a daddyger, you are just trying to get your child out there. But I guarantee you that this child had either a parent on set or a handler to look at what the fuck was going on. Every check, you don't have to take every job. You don't have to take every job. I don't understand how a mother or a manager would let this go down. The moment I was on the set and I saw them get my child into blackface, that's the moment that I say, okay, we're not doing this one. This one's not happening. Okay. Back to the AI. The costume is offensive and should never have been part of our assortment. Incredible Hulk says, "I'm guessing it was a white family that adopted a black child because I can't believe a black person will allow this." Absolutely. I agree with that. In 2023, Pride merchandise backlash. Target received threats against employees over Pride Month merchandise based partly on false viral claims and pulled some items from certain stores on its website. DEI rollback fallout. This costume controversy comes about a year after Target scaled back its DEI initiatives, which critics are now connecting to the incident. Duh! I want to know, was Tabitha. Tabitha, the one that last year said, "Oh, don't stop buying my products there. Now more than ever, we have to go in and continue to buy, bitch, to line your motherfucking pockets." But just like we had a fucking a white hick come through. Miss View, I agree. Just like we had a hit come through, and they're always so ballsy, right? They're always so, I pulled this apology from the official website of of Target, right from the official. Oh, Miss View, I cannot get away with things, Miss View. You have age on your side and wisdom. I do not have that yet. Okay, underneath the apology, there are so many comments, and some of them are just disgusting, are absolutely disgusting. I don't want to be parading up and down aisles where people who have this type of mentality are at. I just don't. I don't want to. I just don't want to. It's crazy. Somebody says, as a white guest, I'm offended that big background color is white. So the post needs to be taken down because I'm white. I mean, that's who we are, white and black. Everyone wants to take everything out of context and run with it. There was nothing racial discrimination. This is how they wrote it, Miss View. There was nothing racial discrimination at all about the post they made, nor the costume they created. Okay, this is Trump's America. This is that right there is a representation of Trump's America, complete with not being able to put together sentences the correct way. Okay, this right there, this is why all them beef makers, okay, all them cow killers and shit, all them farmers got their shit shut down because they thought it was gonna be America first. Yet this motherfucker's about to start importing beef that has pesticides and chemicals that are carcinogens that China won't even take. Now when China won't even feed it to their own people. Okay? From Argentina, okay, Republicans, white Republicans from the Midwest with your cow, the ones that still got a cow or two, the ones that still have some remnants of a farm. How that vote go along, huh? How's that vote going? How's that presidentship going? You getting ready to do your mail-in ballots? Incredible Hulk says, meanwhile, let it be a costume of someone beating a dog and these Sun Dodgers would lose their mind. Absolutely. White walkers. So, Miss View, we ended up having to boycott Target. Not only did we boycott it for just the essentials, but even the because they used to have and I'm pretty sure the optical store is standalone. They just rent space in the mall or whatever. But even that, it's like, okay, I don't even want to step foot. I don't even want to be in the parking lot of a Target. Now, there was a lot of black people still commenting that they were still going to shop there and all of that. What are they saying now? What are they saying today? What are they saying today? When Jamal Joseph, is that his name, Jamal Joseph? When Jamal, Pastor Holy Whore, hijacked the boycott, where is he at right now? I want to know what Jamal is saying right now. What is Pastor Jamal saying about this costume? Let's see, because I want to know. Reverend, Pastor Reverend, they both are crooks, okay? I don't give a F, okay? They both are crooks. Reverend Jamal Bryant, the Georgia pastor who led last year's 40-day Target fast boycott, I didn't know we had a number on it, Miss View, condemned the costume in strong terms. He called it a profoundly harmful symbol of racism that should never have been designed, approved, or sold by Target. and said, quote, a Jim Crow era minstrel costume is not simply getting it wrong. He also tied it to Target's leadership, saying it shows Target still lacks corporate diversity among decision makers and need concrete internal change. No, Jamal. No, they are child. If someone tells you who they are, believe them the first time. I don't understand what's the drive that we have to wanting to go in there and change the corporation. They've already told you this is not poor decision making. They made exactly the decision they wanted to make. Okay? Again, this is not one intern talking about, oh, let me help. This is departments and departments. There's several departments. At least I could think about at least 3 departments involved in this. At least 3 departments involved in getting this image and the catalog. It essentially is a Halloween catalog of costumes that was planned. I'm telling you, probably at the end of last year's season, they started planning for this year's season. So at least a year in the making. A year in the making. They know exactly what they're doing. Let me catch up with the messages. Miss View says, I will spend hours in Target, get my hair, skin, meds, groceries with the cart, with the good wheels, clean bathrooms, and Starbucks. Absolutely. Incredible Hulk says, self-segregation is necessary today. I don't care. Look at what happened with Texas Roadhouse. Shaking my head. I'm over it. Miss View says, they messed me up badly. It was my guilty pleasure. Plus, I had coloring books. They had coloring books. Miss View says, right now is some mess up. Incredible Hulk says, Target was nice, Miss View, peaceful and clean, but they've made it clear that my money is not welcome there. Miss View says, right, and they will not get any of mine right now. They will need a black CEO for me to go back there right about now. But Miss View, what if it was a black CEO in the likes of pork pussy wife Clarence Thomas? At this point, for me, it don't matter who they bring in or what they bring in. I don't want to be part of or inside of an institution that has anything to do with this or this type of history. That's just me, though. Incredible Hulk says all of them, all white men, know exactly what they did. Yeah. This was in a, oh no, it was a lot. Let's look at the bullshit again. The bullshit. Here we go with the bullshit again. Here we go. We removed an offensive Halloween costume that should have never been part of our assortment. It is no longer for sale. As a company, we got it wrong, and we are deeply sorry. We know this is especially hurtful to our black guests. I don't know. Something about the words black guests, especially hurtful to our black. I don't know. It just doesn't sit the right way. It's like gas in the upper part of my belly, above the belly button. It's just uncomfortable for me. Removing the costume is an important first step. No, an important first step would have been you keeping your DEI program, okay, or reinstating it. But we all know this is all just lip service. We all know this is just bullshit to you. You know, yeah, all behind closed doors laughing. We did it again. You know, plot twist. The point of this was to just get eyes on their merchandise. That's the plot twist. Removing the costume is an important first step. And we are looking closely at how this happened and what needs to change to ensure this won't happen again. What we need to change is gutting the entire board, gutting the entire top leadership, all of the C staff, get rid of them. Okay, and put together a board that truly reflects the diversity that is needed in today's day and age. let me take these images. I don't even want to have these images up here in the channel, but I understand that we needed them so that we can have a discussion. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the boycott continues. Ms. View, you've made it this long, a year plus. It pretty much is out of your system already. It's definitely out of my system. Out of my system. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's fine. I figured out all the ways. That and Amazon. I've been boycotting Amazon since that. Sometimes the lips move real quick, real fast. And I see the thought coming out, and I have to remember that I'm uncensored and I'm on live, and I can't this is not kitchen talk conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, once it comes out, I can't pull it back. As soon as the new administration came into power and I realized who were the ones sitting back there during the inaugural speech, Amazon, Tesla. Tesla was an option, a strong option for us when we were looking at cars. And my husband, the Incredible Hulk, and I decided, fuck that shit. And he went ahead and he got me a Lexus. Much better, anyway. You know. But Amazon was sitting up there, and Amazon donated in the whole night. I was like, okay, we're done. I canceled the Amazon Prime. Did it bother me? I would say maybe the first month, because the ability to just like hit the little thing and everything just show up the next day. And I live next to close to one of their hubs or whatever, so my shit was really misviewed. I could order something today, and they would be like today to this morning, and they would be like, okay, we could deliver it to you in like 3 or 4 hours. That was off the hook. You know, that took a little bit of just getting used to, because now when I needed to buy things, I would just go ahead. I will have to plan for a couple of days or whatever. And then I got into the whole, well, I don't want to be fucking having to buy something that's already marked up because I'm ordering online, and then I have to give a tip to these motherfuckers who come, you know, knock on the door. Why are you knocking on my door? Just leave it outside and ring the fucking bell. No, you knocking on the door because you want to hand me this shit to see if I'm going to give you a tip or not. Well, no, it ain't my motherfucking fault that you're not giving you a decent living. Just because they want to fucking sweatshop you, don't pass that thing to me. Absolutely not. So now Incredible Hulk and I decided we ain't ordering shit online. We just gonna go to the stores and get it. Another thing that we can do is we order it, but go physically pick it up at the store. So that works out pretty good. But that also, you know, that also bled into whenever we order takeout and stuff like that. I've never did deliveries because I am not doing a delivery fee. Or like if I wanted to eat at a restaurant or just wanted to, I would just take it to go, order to go up to the thing. I called in the order, and then they got that line, they tip. Fuck the tip. Well, what part do I need to tip you for? You didn't give me sit down table service. All you had to do was turn the fuck around, grab the bag, and put it right here on the counter. What part of your job description did you go above and beyond? It ain't my motherfucking fault that the wages are not working. Yeah, should unionize, you know, organize, unionize, or whatever you guys need to do. Sign a petition. Hell no, we won't go. Whatever it is, but don't try to pass that shit to me. Shit. I don't understand why I need to give you a 10, 15, 25% tip when you did exactly what the job description was. As a matter of fact, I'm paying with my American Express, so you didn't even have to handle cash and count. I tapped. So, Ms. View, and for the most part, Incredible Hulk and I are amazing tippers. We have sit down and whatever, we match the energy of wherever we're eating, especially if the service provider was excellent. But don't try to fucking 15, 25, 30. on the tip, and then I take that slip, Miss View, and I run 5 lines on that line just so that they cannot fucking do anything behind my back. And then I put the biggest dollar sign and put that first number almost kissing that dollar sign, so there's no motherfucking space for you to put a 1 in there and try to make it, in the tens and shit. Absolutely not. You got me messed up. And then I transfer the same information to my copy that I take home. And then I watch my shit, that's the credit card, to make sure these bitches ain't trying shit. Y'all got me fucked up. Y'all got me fucked up and on a pissed off day. Excuse me. My husband, the Incredible Hulk, says, anyone that don't like us will never get my money until I die. I agree with that. And he also says, we order directly from the maker and ship to Amazon. Exactly. And skip Amazon. We order directly from the maker. That's another thing, is you know what we also do? We, if we're trying to compare pricing or whatever, just find out who makes what. You can go on Amazon, use the fucking source to look whatever it is that you're trying to buy, and then if you do some poking around in the page, you can see who's the maker. Then you go on the manufacturer, the distributor, you go to their own website, and 90% of the time you can order the same shit cheaper directly from the manufacturer or the distributor. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for coming through. It's unfortunate that we have to discuss this, but you know what? We had to discuss it. I didn't even want to put the images up there, but I realized I had to put the images up there. And, lastly, for the parent of the child, I get it. You want to get the opportunity. This is a national campaign, the whole nine. But you have to be a little bit smarter about what the fuck you put your child to do. Like that, you don't have to take every single job. Just like when I was an actor, I didn't have to take every single role. And I know, when I was a child actor, Miss View, there was a certain point in my life where I was on my own because my mom was busy raising children and working, and so I was out there. I would go to my Nickelodeon auditions. I did a lot of. My husband doesn't even know this, but I did a lot of pilots. For Nickelodeon and MTV back in the day, like full out pilots where we would shoot the pilot, and then they will also do like a workshop of it for a couple of days or a weekend, for like sketch shows, like all that. I did like 4 or 5 different pilots for those. All right, and I will go to my auditions by myself. And I will come out sometimes of the room, and there will be the managers and the white kids who had like their parents with them, and had little lunch boxes with them and juice and fruit. And how did it go? You're gonna be okay. And then they will get up and start talking to the casting agent or directors, and then they will get their lines, and the parents will be highlighting everything, and I will be the one coming up by myself or sitting there or arriving by myself. And they will always be looking at me like, what is this kid here? But where's your parent? Like, do you have a, and I would be signing in myself, highlighting my letters, my lines myself, and just doing my thing. But, and I was out here in New York doing my own thing. Okay. Shout out to that. But I know that this child did not go to this thing doing it all by himself, and they got him in this minstrel costume thing, and he didn't know no better. No, I guarantee you that times are different, laws and rules are different. This child had probably a manager or handler there, and I'm pretty sure the parents looked at all the costumes to make sure that it was something that the parents approve and the whole nine. So let's see. Miss View says, they sometimes have reward points too, so doing that directly is good. Let Party City sell those costumes of there is a need. I can at least understand that place selling that. But Target, after the boycott, shaking my head. Exactly, completely tone deaf. Hawk says, all money isn't good money. Imagine that child, what that child is going through or feeling. Probably so happy he got a shoot and now he's seeing all this backlash, and now his picture is taken down. Ideally, his parents should shield him and protect him, but to the best that they can. But clearly, we don't know that given that he already is in that situation. You know what I'm saying? No respect. I called the CEO of my company that I work with, all white people and just me. He wore a pimp outfit to work on Halloween. Lord, I was straight into HR at that time. I was working in accounting. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah. I called his ass out and he had to do a public apology. Just so tone deaf. Absolutely tone deaf. Let me tell you something. When you are in a position like that, and I understand because I've been in companies where like, oh, Halloween, we're gonna dress up for Halloween. But I would say that in the companies that I've been where we did the whole dressing up for Halloween, the C staff, Miss View, all they did was wear shirts. Like they would wear like a shirt with like a pumpkin shirt or like a shirt with a design. I don't know if somebody in management just coordinated it for them, but like the C staff, those are your COOs, your CEO, all of that. Not, I know you know that, Miss View. This is for like the people who come later. They just had like shirts. I remember I was a manager in one of the companies, and I at the manager level knew, okay, you can't, don't come over here with your angel wings, your G-string, and some gold sneakers because it's Halloween. I will come in and I would just put like some ears, or I had that funny mustache with the glasses and the nose that I would just put on to take a picture, whatever, and then just leave it on the desk, because it's like you're still at fucking work. Yes, it's Halloween, we're having a little staff outing or whatever, but it's still work. And you're still in a position of power, and you still supervise people, and you still want to keep that level of respect, So yes, Miss View, I would wear I think I wore bunny ears one year. I think I wore the little funny glasses with the nose one year, and then I did the shirts too. I would do a shirt, like a pumpkin shirt, or like a clown in a shirt, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? The man was making over $200,000 a year. Tone deaf, absolutely tone deaf. Anyway, well, Target has another 365 days to fuck it up again. We know they're going to. At this point, I feel like this is some type of kink or fetish that they got going on. At this point, it seems like this is like the all boys club up there, just like, this is how they get their jollies. Miss View says that her CEO was crying. I was the only black person in the white collar area of the company. Ooh, Miss View. I feel for you, because I could only imagine the micro motherfucking aggressions. Micro and macro, okay, and just aggression period. Miss View says, wait, okay, we're waiting. Even Walmart knows not to sell shit like that. Absolutely. I'm telling you, this is an all boys club up there getting their jollies off. They're coming. Watching this fall apart. This is ain't nobody just snuck that shit in. Like, it's departments, and then all the way down to the tech guy that's going to upload the pictures, and then they're going to review everything to make sure everything is aligning, and that they could, all of that testing that went on for the website to make sure that when they click, it goes into the shopping cart, and that the proper tax is being added to. All of that gets motherfucking tested. It absolutely gets tested. Anyway. All right. Any last thoughts before I head out? My mama's tea is starting to hit me. I want to thank everybody who came through. Miss View, always good conversation. Unfortunate topic, but always good conversation. My husband, the Incredible Hulk, says, someone literally made that costume and mass produced it to sell. And somebody is called design. Somebody designed the shoot. Let's not forget that the boy is posted up. Okay? The boy is posted up. And who is he posted up like? As? Okay? I don't see a clown. When I look at this, I don't see a clown. I don't see a clown. They're calling this Kids Glow on the Black Light Circus Clown Halloween Costume. I don't see a circus clown here. I don't remember the last time the circus clown had a black mask over their faces. I don't think I've ever seen a clown with a black mask or a ski mask and with their mouth and their lips and teeth exaggerated like that. And then look how they post the boy. Because they post that boy. That boy has been posted. He was told, do this. Stand like this. This is how we're going to do it. Put your hand up and your arm. That's what that, you know what I'm saying? Miss View says. Facts. And the profit to sell was reviewed too. Exactly, Miss View. You know, it's a whole bunch of departments. So they said, buy it. That is no damn clown. Exactly. Unfortunate that at fucking, what are we, 2026? This is what we're still dealing with. And then you got the ignorant people like the fucking white trash that was up in here. Talk about they're always so fearless behind the motherfucking screen. Fearless. Anyway, all right. I want to thank you guys for coming through. I come through every night. Every night I come through. And I changed the saying today because I don't want to do this every night. I don't want this to keep coming up. However, whenever it comes up, we will be coming out to talk about it because we need to. My husband says, I'm over it. The obsession these people have with us is diabolical. We live rent-free in their heads. Skyscrapers. Penthouses. Miss View says thanks for the show. You're welcome, Miss View. Unfortunate, not one of my proudest shows. You know what I'm saying? But it's shit that we need to discuss. We need to discuss because what we're not gonna do is just let them laugh and laugh with them or not say nothing. Just like that white hick that came through. Yeah. I apologize to my listening audience. I did not want to give you the graphic of a white hick sucking on a sick dick and then writing it. But, you know, it is what it is. I do this every night. Every night I do this. Make sure you come through. Come through. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. I've already started. Mark your calendars. Preparing for Juanqui Pros and Incredible Hulk's New Year's Eve extravaganza eleganza. Why are you prepping? Because last year they tried to fucking fuck me without lube. That's why. Because last year when we was getting ready to launch the feed, and we launched said feed, YouTube completely came over here and blocked it. And I had to quickly and professionally and swiftly switch my production on the fly. But I already started speaking to the people. Oh, yes, I started speaking to the people who are going to provide the links and all that. And I'm already started not planning, but I started researching what it is that I need to do so that this year we ain't got no motherfucking issues. And this year we stream exactly from Times Square. It's going to be a great evening. It's going to be a great evening. Miss View says, I wish I would do it in DC. Just saying. Well, you know. I can always create my scenes and all that and pack it up in one of the 2 Lexuses we got and head on a road trip. I hate road trips, by the way. But well, okay. Well, let me talk to my husband, the Incredible Hulk. Yeah, last year they did dirty. Oh, but we won't be done dirty because I'm gonna do it the professional way. But y'all know me. I always plan for the backup. The backup If I had to prop a motherfucking TV behind my head, oh, we will be seen from Times Square. We will be seen from Times Square. One way or another, we will be seen from Times Square. With that said, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a blessed day. Get some rest, Miss View, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.